Oh, Bubble Lubber, you could have not timed that confetti any better. Oh, I love it. Hello,
That's
everyone.
amazing.
And
Hello.
oh, yay, my chat extension's working. Okay, I'll get to that in a moment. But first, welcome everyone to Pokemon Iron Lions Edition. If this is your first time here, which it likely is because we're only 2 sessions in, this is an actual play of the Pokeroll tabletop system featuring the one and only Yuma Yamano.
Hi. Is that my cue to do my intro?
Yeah, that's your cue.
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Yuma Yamano. I am the leader of the Iron Lions, and this is a recap of my Pokemon journey. Once upon a time.
Mm. I love it. I love it. And of course, thank you, Gray Matter, for the Prime sub. Thank you. Thank you. But just a few ground rules before we get into today's session proper. Just because it's sort of my thing. I always do a monologue at the top of my tabletop streams, but I find it works out quite well. So we're not going to have a guest today, but we are sort of in the searching process for finding other guests. So any of you Yuma fans out there and anyone who wants to maybe come on stream, give me a poke. We'll figure something out.
Ooh, that's
Um,
exciting.
but yeah, the other thing I have to say is, of course, that since it is Yuma is the only main player here, that means it's her story. It's not chat stories. It's not my story. It's Yuma's story. And she is going in blind. She's never played the Hoenn region games before. So please don't spoil anything from major events, NPCs, and so on. It's up to her how much she interacts with chat, but just try to keep it civil. And she does have mod powers if she needs to smack someone down.
I do. Oh man.
What? Yeah, no pressure.
The power.
Yeah, the power is overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the only thing I have to say before we sort of do our quick recap is that you can probably tell that I have a little Pokemon extension. If you're an active chatter, you get a little Pokemon sprite at the bottom of the chat window there. So have fun with that. But yeah.
I want one too.
It looks like your Pikachu, Yuma. Congrats.
Oh my god, what? That is actually amazing. I've never. Wow. Or is that Renzi? I can't tell if that's me or if that's Renzi. Oh, it's me. Oh, I am a Pikachu.
Oh, I love it.
Amazing.
All right. Well,
does it just random it?
Say again?
Oh, sorry. Does it just randomize it?
I think there's a way that you can change it via the extension. I think it's on my page. You have to go through the extension, but it should work all right.
That's awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah, we'll have to get you
a follow on my side. Thanks for the follow.
Hey, love it. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. So, Yuma, would you care to give a recap of what happened to you in the first session?
Sure. I, Yuma Yamano, in my teenage self, have arrived at Little Root Town with my mother, and I have started my Pokemon journey, which means that I received a bag with additional items, gave my mom a hug, had some cereal, and then a local rival appeared, and it was Nitori. And Nitori, didn't really want to come in and have breakfast, didn't really want to socialize too much, but she was scoping out the competition at the time. So we went together to Professor, oh my gosh, what's her name?
Maple.
Professor Maple. Thank you. Professor Maple's lab, and I received my first Pokemon, which is a Litten. A Litten that I'm currently calling Litten still, because I want to call them Incineroar when they get to Incineroar levels. Him, I guess. It is a him, I believe. Let me just double check. Yes.
I think it's a male Litten.
Right. And so Nitori had chose a water Pokemon. What was the Pokemon that she got?
Froakie.
Okay. Is that which gen is Froakie from? I can't actually remember. Was it the same gen?
Trying to remember. I think Froakie's XY, if I remember correctly. Gen 5, yeah.
Oh. Yeah, because Greninja. I remember. Gen 5. No 6? Okay.
6, yeah.
Cool. So we had an epic Pokemon battle that was really close, and if I didn't use a potion, I might have been screwed.
Mhm.
But I used a potion like a cheater. But the main character can do that. The NPCs usually don't. But with these types of battles, it sounds like you can. So we had an epic battle, and I just like barely squeaked past to get a win. She wasn't too happy about that, but we did walk out. I remember that was when we had a break, and then she had to leave, and so I was like, okay, bye. And then I went into the forest. I caught a Phoebus, which fell from, or more like I saw a Pidgey flying by. I was holding a Phoebus in its mouth, and I knocked it down, and then I tried to convince the Phoebus to come along on a Pokemon journey with me without me having to beat it up into submission. But then it ended up having to get beaten into submission, so I beat it up. Chat helped me with some additional capture luck, capture points. And then I caught it, and I was like, wow, this is so great. Not realizing there was anything super special about it at all. So went back home. I showed my mom. She was like, cool. Kind of confused about why I came back so early. And then I wanted to heal my Pokemon, and then went straight to the next town. Let me look at the town map and see what that was called again. Oldale Town. And stopped by there, got the tutorial from the old man on how to catch Pokemon.
The ancient art of the rock.
Oh, art of the rock, yes. Toss the rock, and then it ends up beating up the Pokemon. And then went over to the Pokemon Center. Flirted with Nurse Joy for a little bit. Got rejected. Went upstairs, found out that the area that I have to go next, or like the recommended way to go next, would be towards Rustboro City, past Petalburg City, so going towards the west. And oh yeah, and then I met this lass. Oh my god, what was her name? I think I got her number.
You did get her number.
I did get a number. I should have taken notes. I was too excited by the whole event that I didn't end up taking notes. But I did get her number. I can't remember her name, and that's unfortunate.
Well, the good news is that there's this handy little thing called a contact option in your Pokegear that tells you her name is Tiana.
Oh, it tells you the name. Oh my god! in my in this overlay in Roll20.
Yeah, I can actually, since you know her name.
Okay.
Let me actually, let's see. Here she is.
Help, I'm too gay to remember basic things. It's true. I was so flustered at the time. So, yes, Tiana. So met Tiana. I showed her my Phoebus, named Celadon, by the way, because Celadon is the one who helped me catch. So I was like, yay, I'm gonna name it after Celadon. And yeah, that was they were super surprised that I had a purple Phoebus instead of a brown one, which is the typical color. So I actually have a shiny Phoebus that I didn't even realize it was special. I thought that was a regular color. So hooray, I have a rare Pokemon. And I think that's where we were at last.
That is indeed. After your conversation, you basically retired to the Pokemon Center's trainer rooms where you can get a good night's sleep, good meal, and start the day fresh. And that is actually where we're going to start today's session, is in that very same Pokemon Center in Oldale. Also, just because I always worry about this sort of thing, if the music is too loud or if it's too soft, do let me know, chat. But yeah, so Yuma, what happens is you step out of what is essentially like a studio apartment almost. Each room is its own little contained bed, living room, kitchen, etc. And when you step out, you maybe yawn a little bit. Litten sort of starts licking its paws. And as you sort of head towards the front of the Pokemon Center to start the day proper, Nurse Joy actually sort of flags you down and motions for you to come on over.
Oh, hello, good morning. I'm going to kind of adjust my hat a little bit before I go back to go walk up towards Nurse Joy, and I say, how can I help you? And
well, She, of course, giggles a little bit in that typical Joy fashion and says, "Oh, you're a treat." And there's some confetti. Nice. Clearly, confetti goes off behind Joy.
I love the confetti redeem.
It's
one of my
amazing.
favorite things.
It literally is. Anyway, she giggles a little bit and says, "Well, I actually wanted to give you, since you're new, I wanted to give you a little bit of advice if you're heading towards Rustboro City."
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is that, you know all the trainers that were here last night? I think I saw you talking to some of them.
Yeah.
Well,
I found out a little bit about where they recommend I go next. Just checked out some of the Pokemon. I'm pretty new to the region, so I don't really know much about what kind of Pokemon are here. So I was pretty excited about that.
good. It's a good thing to be excited about.
Incoming
And
transmission.
oh, hey, Asus Stream, thank you for the follow. Wow, my train of thought just died. 1 second. There we go. That's where I was going
No
with it.
problem. I just
so
posted it on the Iron Lines as well. So let me actually host you before I forget again. Okay.
gotcha.
There you go.
Hey, yay! Thank you for the host.
Yay! host.
So she kind of actually motions at one of the screens behind her. So there's kind of these big old TV screens that are normally displaying things like the news and the weather up behind her. And she changes it so it actually shows a map of the region. And she sort of highlights it on the west route, or Route 102. And she points at it and says, well, if you are headed to Rustboro, you're going to take Route 102 here. And you're going to go into Petalburg. And Petalburg, you're not going to spend too much time in. There is a gym there, but normally you don't want to challenge it till you have a few badges under your belt. But you'll want to keep heading to the west, curving to the north, into Route 104. And you'll pass through Petalburg Woods, and then right through onto Rustboro City, where your first gym challenge could be.
Okay. So based on I don't know if these are based on names of trees or something like that, but so where I'm from, which I can't remember. Where am I from? Am I from Alola or from somewhere else?
I don't think we ever decided.
Okay, I'll let's say I'm from. I don't know any of these regions very well, except for Kanto. I'll say I'm from Kanto then.
Fair.
Sure. Where I'm from, the towns were named after colors. So I was just curious with the city names, where that came from.
I mean, you're not on the wrong track. They are mostly trees and plants. You wouldn't be from Pallet Town, would you?
Am I from Pallet Town? Let's say I'm from the big city. I'm from Celadon City.
Celadon
Named
City.
my Pokemon after that.
That
Named
would
my
be
Phoebus after Celadon City.
That would be my what is she? My third oldest sister. So hey, cool.
Third oldest sister. Yay! Wow, I can definitely see the similarities. Both of you are very beautiful women.
I'm sure she said the same thing to you as I said to you earlier, but we appreciate the compliments, and she giggles again. But a little more to the point before we get too lost in the flirting. You see Route 102 here. She kind of moves the map back over. The Pokemon trainers that were here last night got together and decided to give you a little bit of a gauntlet. They decided they wanted to give you a little bit of a challenge since you are new to the region and new to your journey. And I didn't really get all the details, but I did hear that they would have a reward for you if you managed to beat all of them without coming back to the Pokemon Center to heal.
What? Oh, I need to buy some. How about items? Am I cool with using items for that?
I didn't hear any banning of items, so I think you're okay.
Okay. I'm super down then. I would love to. That sounds awesome. They're so nice, and they wanna depending on how tough they are. Hopefully, we can all have a good time.
Yeah.
They allowed item abuse. So, do you have any? I mean, you must have healed their Pokemon while they were there. Could you give me a preview of what I'm up against?
Let's have you actually do a roll for this one.
Oh, sure.
Give me either a cool or a cute,
Okay.
plus either etiquette or perform.
Okay, let's see. Cool or cute? So I have which one's better? I think I have a better cool score. Okay, cool. And where's my perform? You said perform?
Perform or etiquette would be good here.
All right, let's stick with perform because I don't have I don't have a point in either. So, and it looked like I had help earlier, but I wasn't sure if I did.
Yeah, you got help earlier. I also have a dice for my end, which I've got stored up.
Nice. Okay, so I got modifier 1.
Hey, that's a whopping 3 successes. So Nurse Joy Nurse Joy actually kind of leans in over the counter and goes, "Well, you didn't hear this from me, but most of them are normal types. Lots of Zigzagoons, lots of Talos, maybe a Poochyena or 2, but I'm sure nothing you and Lytton there can't handle." And Lytton does one of those cat things where it just sort of looks up at her and goes,
and I will, at the same time, without looking at Lytton, also make the same expression.
Nice.
Someone call Pokemon PETA. No such thing. Not in this world. Okay.
You go ahead first.
That's awesome. That I think that we got a few a couple of plans around that. I don't think that are we going by levels? Is that how this thing works? Let me actually double check it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that is something I was going to actually address. So there's sort of 2 ways we can do leveling here. When I set up all of the Pokemon, I generally do it for your current level, quote unquote, or something I think that would be a good challenge for you. Something that isn't too hard, but also isn't too easy. And when it comes to leveling, there's actually some actual requirements you have to get before I'm supposed to throw more threats at you. So for example, in order to go from your current rank, which is beginner or starter, it's starter to beginner. Yeah, that's what it is. So in order to get to starter to beginner, you actually have to do a couple things. You have to sort of bond with your Pokemon. You have to train them a little bit. You've already caught your second Pokemon, so you've succeeded there. And you've also beaten Nitori, which is counting as a first official battle. So you're almost already at beginner rank.
Sweet. Let me recap the requirements. So it was like bonding with them, beating an opponent. What else was there? Getting a second Pokemon.
Yep.
And there was one more, I think you said.
You have to train them, and training is different. And this is sort of where the system really opens up to be a little more immersive in the games, at least in my opinion.
Oh, so just like in the anime when he gets the Pikachu to like go on the like when he charges it with like the battery or whatever for that one battle. Okay, that makes sense to me. And does the type of training affect what type of moves are learned?
Somewhat yes, somewhat no. Also, Genesis, thank you for the mystery gift sub. Thank you.
Hey.
So the way training works is generally when you do training, you do it versus a stat. So let's say, for example, you want to do Litten's Brawl, like you want to get Litten's Brawl up. So you would do something that would be conducive to that. Like maybe you would teach it, like maybe you would have it do, I'm trying to imagine, what's the name of the wooden thing that's used in martial arts sometimes?
The doll that like has the
has the limb things on it. Yeah.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
Right. But maybe it's one of those things where you get Litten to sort of attack that doll in such a way that it gets more in tune with its body, more in tune with how it can attack. Or
Ah,
maybe it's one of those things where if you want to teach it to evade, maybe you throw something light at it, but still that, would like bounce off his head or something. Like you would teach it to dodge more or less.
you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's a soft, fluffy cloud wrench. Still a
Don't know
wrench.
where you got it, but sure, just start chucking wrenches at your Pokemon. I'm sure PETA will not mind it.
It's just a wrench-shaped pillow.
Oh, I love it. I love it. But yeah, you only technically have to train once in order to fulfill this requirement. But
Okay.
as I said, you are already pretty close to doing it. I think, honestly, by the end of this session, you will rank up one way or the other.
Sweet. Okay. Yeah, and I guess like bonding just happens kind of over time as we like role play through scenarios and things like that.
You got it.
Awesome. Okay, I think that clears things up for me. So let me just adjust. Do I adjust Litton's HP back to full because
Yep.
it's full now? Okay. And nothing else I have to adjust here. Cool. Okay. And I opened myself too. So as my HP, okay, it's still 4.
Mhm.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see. So she gave me some tips on the types, and one more question, Nurse Joy.
course.
How many of them are there? So did you? I don't remember if you said exactly.
There's 4 of them, I think. There's 2 youngsters, a bug catcher, and that lass you were talking to last night.
Not the mountain climber, huh?
No, he decided he wanted to head east. Something about wanting to track down some unknown, but
I should have asked for his number as well so that I could keep in touch, but he was super helpful too. Oh well.
nah. I think you'll find that many of the backpackers and mountaineers are very helpful. They're a reclusive sort, but they're very friendly people.
Wing Chun dummy, yes. Oh, yes. Okay, great. Well, I think that's all the questions that I have. Do you have any I know you've seen a whole bunch of trainers come in and out of this Pokemon Center. Do you have any just like what's your favorite tip that you give to newbies?
It's a good question, and she kind of puts a hand to her chin in thought. Well, I suppose it's worth mentioning that you should test your limits, but don't be afraid of realizing that you need to train to reach new heights, if that makes any sense.
Got it. Okay, sounds good to me. I will work hard, and I will try to. Let me think about this. So as long as I haven't fought the first person yet, if I train first, if I train first, I could potentially reach those heights. Like if I leave, it doesn't start the challenge right away, right?
Correct. Yeah, you have your own time to deal with here.
Nice. All right. I will go and try to do that as soon as I can, because I expect they will be waiting for me on Route 102.
And Nurse Joy kind of does the stereotypical bow with her head and says, "Thank you for stopping by. Take care out there."
Thanks, Nurse Joy. Bye. And then I kind of like turn around and wave while I'm kind of half jogging away.
All right. So you emerge into Oldale Town, and one thing that you notice when you step outside is that there's a little bit of moisture on the air. It's a little bit humid, and the reason for it is actually rather obvious. You sort of look to the east, and you see just in the distance on the horizon, there's these big black storm clouds that are threatening to roll in at any moment.
I look at Lytton on my shoulder, and I just go, looks like there's a storm coming. Maybe we should make the best use of the daytime while we have it. But we should grab an umbrella or something so that we don't get caught out in the rain. What do you think?
So Litton sort of taps the side of your face with a paw, then points at the Pokemon Mart and motions then at your bag, and you get the sense that it's trying to tell you, maybe you should stock up on items before you go.
Yeah. Of course. Thank you, Litton. Thank you for the reminder. I will definitely do that. And I kind of poke it back in its cheek, and then I give it a little scratch on the chin, and I'm like, here you.
And it of course purrs back.
Yeah, and I will walk over to the shop and kind of peek in. It looks like a glass door. I'm not sure if there are windows actually, but I'll peek in and see before just kind of like walking through the automatic door.
Yeah. And what you see on the other side is that actually there's just rows upon rows of all sorts of items any Pokemon trainer or anyone really in the world of this setting could use. You're seeing things like potions, you're seeing a whole array of Pokeballs, you're seeing camping equipment, you're seeing forms of transport, like there's even bicycles and things of that nature. It's pretty much your one-stop shop for literally almost anything.
Let me open up my inventory. Where did I write this down? What stuff I have in my bag? Yeah, it says bag here. Okay. So small camping tent, canned meal, Pokeball, potions. Okay. So definitely gonna need more. How much money do I have? $22.50. Okay. I'm gonna walk up to the counter. I assume there's some kind of like menu that just shows the item, like prices for all the things in one place.
It does. Basically, just tell me what you're after, and I'll tell you the price for it.
Okay. Potions.
So regular potions cost 400 each.
400 each. Okay, and Pokeballs?
If you want regular Pokeballs, you're looking at a cost of 200 each.
And Great Balls, do they sell Great Balls?
600. They do have Great Balls. They cost 600 each.
600 each. Okay. Something with water resistance, I guess. So, like, is there like an umbrella or like a I suppose if Litton is gonna get caught in the water or the rain, I can just like recall Litton, but for myself, so I don't get sick, I have a hat. But is there like a poncho or like a jacket?
I would say that cost would maybe be about 100 overall. And that can be either the poncho or the umbrella. I'm fine with either.
Okay. I would say poncho then. Okay. So I will buy, let me do some math here. Potions were 400 each. So if I get 3 of those, 1,200, and then maybe 3 more Pokeballs, 1,800, and then the poncho, so 1,900 out of my 2,250. Okay, I will go with those purchases. And wait, can I also see, are there any like poke treats?
Yeah, I mean, if you want a little something for Litton and Phoebios or Celadon, I would just say give me another 20 on top of that, and you'll have enough to feed them for a little bit.
Okay, so 90. Why don't I get like 2 sets of that? Or like, can I? Yeah. Okay, so 20 on top of that. So sure, I'll do just the 20. So then it's 1920 total that I spent. Is that right?
Yeah, it sounds right.
Okay.
I think you have 305 left over if I did the math in my head properly.
305. Wait, I had 2250 minus 20, so it's 30, and then so I have 330 left.
Yeah, I do not do math on the fly.
That's okay. I think I got it. Chat, double check my math. 2250 minus 1920 equals I think think 30.
No, it is
Okay,
30.
so I
It
should
is
have
30. I thought there was an extra 5 in there. That's where my confusion was.
no
You
problem.
got it.
Okay, so I have 5 potions, 6 Pokeballs, and a poncho.
Good stuff. And of course, the attendant behind the counter is easily able to just pull those things off the shelf for you, hands them over, and again, sort of bows respectfully, as seems to be the thing here.
One more thing. Antidote?
So an antidote is going to cost 100.
100. Yeah, I'll take an antidote. So that's 230 now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm broke. But that's okay. Because I also have Poké Treats here. Let me get this. Would that be like one for each of them?
I would say that you could say, let me think here. Give them, I'll say each thing that you bought, since you bought 2, I'll give you 4 overall.
Oh, okay. So I bought 2, so then that would be 40 instead of 20, or that it costs, right?
Well, what I mean is, if you bought 2, you would have 4 charges. If you bought 1, you would have 2 charges.
Oh, okay. So I will have bought 2 then. So I'll have 4 Poké Treats, and then I will change that item to 210 instead of 230.
All right.
Okay, sweet. We are stocked up. Litton, did I forget anything?
Litton just sort of looks
Litton.
around, just sort of gives a cat shrug, whatever a cat shrug looks like, and he just kind of goes,
Alrighty. Well, I picked up a little something for you and Celadon. So, but let's work hard during training today, and then you'll get a treat at the end. Yeah.
meow.
Meow. Yay. Okay. So, I will bow to the register, the person at the register, and just say, "Thanks so much." Are there any, like, I should have asked this before, but are there any like specials or anything that's unique to your store that you only have here?
Well, I probably should have told you this before you spent all your money, but if you buy 10
Probably.
Pokeballs with me, I throw in a free Premier Ball.
But they're 200 each. That would have been all my money. I need the potions, so I can't. Oh, but that's such a good deal. Oh, but I already spent all my money. I think I'll save it for next time when I come back. How about that?
Sure thing, and you're new, right? You sort of have that new
Yeah.
air about you.
Yeah, I'm not from around here, definitely. Came from Kanto.
Aha. Well, I tell you what, I'll call up my brother who works in Petalburg, and I'll tell him to extend the same Premier Ball offer to you.
Thank you so much. Okay, I'll definitely make sure I say hi to your brother for you. What's your name? I didn't catch your name.
I'm John.
Are they wearing a name tag?
They are. It says, "Hi, my name is John."
Hi, John.
And John sort of smiles and says, probably don't know this if you're new to the area, but you know how all the Nurse Joys look alike and how all the Officer Jennies look alike? Well, all the Johns look alike as well.
All the Johns look alike? Wow, that's so crazy. Those are some strong genetics you got there.
Well, the Doe family line, it's very extensive.
The Doe family line, amazing. This is perfect. I'm really excited to meet your brother as well. I will definitely say hi for you. Anything you want me to like bring over to him or anything like that?
Just tell him he still owes me that shipment from 2 weeks ago. He'll know what it means.
Sure. Sounds good. All right, I will make sure that he gets the message.
And he just simply bows once again.
And I will bow, kind of like a quick half bow, and then start heading out the store. All right. So let's start heading towards the west, towards 102.
Okay.
And I'm gonna kind of like take I guess I'll go to the edge of the town and like take a look at what's going on. Okay, wait, here.
Yeah, let me drag you all the way over here.
Oh, Oh, this is so cool. Are they like positioned where they normally would be positioned in like the game too?
I tried to give it 1-to-1 where they are in the game. But yeah, so you sort of peek out to look at Route 102 from Oldale Town, and what you see is that it is generally sort of a trying to figure out a good word for this, but if you'll imagine, there's sort of like these dense thickets of trees that are interspersed by big
Mm-hmm.
patches of tall grass, and then sort of weaving between all of them are more or less these not like actual roads like concrete, but more of a worn path, like people have traveled
Mm.
this way very recently. So there's sort of like
Mm-hmm.
worn paths between all the tall grasses and the bits of trees. To your right or to the north, as you sort of peek your way onto Route 102, there's a small pond that you can see a few Magikarps sort of swimming around in. If you were to look
Ah.
carefully at the tall grass, you would see Zigzagoon, you would see some Poochyena, you would also see maybe 1 or 2 Pidgeys, maybe a Talo or two. In general, though, what really catches your attention is that sort of at the farthest away long grass patch from where you are, there does
Mm-hmm.
appear to be one of those youngsters you remember seeing in the Pokemon Center last night. And he's doing that trainer thing where he's just sort of like looking different ways, looking for a challenge kind of a
Standing in the
thing.
same spot but flipping a 180.
Hmm.
Hello, Phantom is the Opera. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so first order of business. I want to um find someone for Lytton to find somewhere for Lytton to train. So a
Okay.
big wide open space. Maybe like a tree to bonk, or maybe like okay, clarify something for me. What
Sure.
are fire Pokemon like if they swim, are they like in danger? I know Charmanders would be in danger, but like are all fire Pokemon like that?
Not really. Also, Case-kun. Thank you, Case, for the
Okay,
raid. Thank you, thank you.
thank
So
you.
it's one of those things where Charmander, I think, is a special case because it has that whole lore about its like flame tail.
Mm-hmm.
But we see time and time again that even rock types will go into the water to do things.
And like
So
swim for
yeah,
fun.
so I think it's sort of a case by case basis. Like if you want to just like tell Lytton to go swim, it's gonna be up to Lytton whether he wants to go swim. But
Mm. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna look at Lytton and ask, what do you want to do for training, or more like, can you charades for me? Like, what type of training do you want to do? And then I'll make I'll step side to side and be like, do you want to do like evasion training, or do you want to? And then I'll like do some shadow boxing. Do you want to do some brawling training, or do you want to do like some defense training? And then I'll like point at the water and be like, I'll make a little swimming motion.
so I think what happens is as you start to shadow box, I think Lytton actually sort of leaps up and bats at your fists as you're punching the air.
Uh, okay. That's a pretty clear answer, I think. So why don't we do some like practice with brawling? And so I'm going to how can I train them to brawl unless it's with me?
I mean, that is always
Oh,
an option.
what do I have in my bag? Let me look at my bag. Okay, let me ask you, how is the tent packed? Is it like a soft circle? Like, is it like a sphere or like a cylinder that's like kind of soft on one side, or and
Um,
also is it fragile?
let's see. I would say that it's probably the size of a sleeping bag, but really the sort of benefit to having a bag like yours is that all of your items are actually stored in their own like item pokeballs. So you can store like big
Mm,
things in them.
I
So
see.
if you were to send out the tent, quote unquote, it would be sort of a duffel bag size. So pretty big bag. And it would be roughly cylinder shaped, I would say.
Okay, and is the bag and the tent like, could I take out the contents of the tent and fill it with something else and then make that into like a pseudo punching bag?
You certainly could, but let's see how well you do it. because it will matter
Ah.
whether or not the bag is sufficient for training.
I see. Okay. Would I be able to know if it was sufficient for training or not? I guess that's based on my own assessment. Okay. I would like to try to do that then. I will summon the tent bag, take out the tent, and attempt to stuff it with like, I don't know, grass and other soft things. Some like dirt, I guess, and then just like zip it up. Maybe I will. Do I have any rope or anything? No, it doesn't look like it.
Well, you do have that one escape rope that the hiker did
I
give
do have an
you.
escape rope. But if I use it, can I not use it later as the
Let's
escape
just say
rope?
there's a chance that Lytton could destroy it if you were to wrap it in the bag or...
I'm okay with that. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it to like increase its durability, or like to hold it together so that it doesn't like just blow apart if Lytton hits it a little bit too hard. And so it'll be like slightly reinforced with the escape rope.
Got it. All right, well, let's see how well you do. Give me a clever plus a either crafts or a lore. And the Jogs Tia, thank you for the follow.
Thank you. I will put in crafts. Crafts. Where there you are. Knowledge. Okay. No help from chat this time. Okay. Submit.
All right. Well, one success. I would say that you feel pretty confident. I mean, it's your first time really doing this sort of thing, but you feel confident that it can stand up to Lytton's wrath.
Okay. All right, Lytton. So I've got this training bag for you. I'm gonna use the escape rope to like kind of hold it on the back like a kicking shield. I don't know if people are familiar with like martial arts kicking shields, but I'm gonna like it looks like a regular shield, like it has little handles. And then I'm going to sort of like put myself in a lower stance and hold it in front of me forward. And I'll just say, what Lytton doesn't know tackle, does it?
No,
Can
it doesn't.
It knows scratch. That's tough. That's unfortunate, actually. I should have checked that first. But let's see. Okay, so what would training brawl mean? Like, just like throwing punches at it, or like how do Lyttons do this? Like, can I start to teach it a new move, or?
Yeah, actually, that's what I'm looking up on the side here, is that I'm pretty sure that one of the training options you can do is teach it a new move that it qualifies for. So give me one moment here.
Okay.
I have to find Lytton's... Where is it? So Lytton is somewhere. I was going to say, if you tell me the number Lytton is, I can probably find it a little bit quicker.
725.
725. All right, I was going the wrong direction. All right, 725. So right now, Lytton would qualify for Scratch and Ember. It would also qualify for Growl and Lick.
Lick, huh? That's not really useful against normal types. Ember
it
would
is
be
literally immune, yeah.
Nothing fighting, right? The only one looks like it's double kick at 18.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you don't really get the good moves until it evolves.
Well, that's after it evolves? I see.
Yeah, I'm looking at the, because if you're looking at like Cerebi, like the move list is a little bit different than Poker Rolls.
I see.
So yeah, right now, actually I don't see, I think I misspoke. I actually don't see Double Kick anywhere, like even up to Incineroar.
I guess I'm looking at Generation 8 on Bulbapedia, so I'll look at Cerebi.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking for it. It looks like that once you rank up, Lytton could learn things like Bite and Fire Fang and Fury Attack and Thrash.
Okay.
but it doesn't look like double kick is on the menu. I don't think tackle's on the menu.
No.
But it does
Okay.
look like once you eventually get it to an Incineroar, you get instant access to like Throat Chop and Bulk Up and
Okay.
Flamethrower and all good manner of fighting moves.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's totally fine. I will well, now it feels like this punching bag is not worth doing, but I can just say like, okay, I want you to maybe I could teach it lick so for later. Yeah. Let me look at these other options. Uh Growl, Lick, and Ember.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it already knows Ember. And Leer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How can you tell me a little bit more about like how much does the Growl lower attack and how much does Leer lower defense?
So the way it works is it lowers by 1 each time it's successful. So if you were to use Growl on a Pokemon, it would lower that Pokemon's attack by 1 for the battle, and you can keep spamming that over and over and over again. But if it
Mm,
does succeed on an attack, the key thing to remember is that there is a minimum of 1
minimum of
damage as long
one.
as it
Mm,
succeeds on an accuracy roll.
I see. Okay. Um, maybe. How do I even teach Lick?
Well, I mean, what occurs to me is maybe you just say, "All right, Litton, I want you to lick the hell out of this bag," or "Hey, Litton, I want you
Okay.
to, use your chompers." Something that would get its mouth into the mix, kind of a thing.
Okay. Okay. Sure. That sounds good to me. Okay, Litton. This I don't want you to use Scratch on this thing because we need it to hold our tent later. But what I want you to do is try to maybe I'll be like trying to teach it bite, but then it ends up like licking because it doesn't know how to bite yet.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. Let's try using your mouth. I want you to try to chomp on this thing, but don't pierce it. So try licking it. Yeah, try licking it.
Okay. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to do a series of 3 rolls. And the way
Okay.
this is going to work is you're going to give either a attribute, so your strength, vitality, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
or a social attribute, so tough, clever, beauty, etc., plus lore. And I'm going to let you choose which attribute or social attribute you use, and you
Okay.
just have to tell me how it's justified. So, for example, let's say you do tough plus lore. You're teaching sort of Litton how to be a bit more tough, a little bit more sort of,
Mm,
I don't want to say strength because strength is a different thing, but you're teaching it how to really bite down, I think is a good way to say it.
right. Okay. And so let me recap which ones those were again. So like tough,
Hmm.
cool, beauty, clever, cute, like that attribute, and
Hmm.
also the either fight, survival, social, or knowledge one, right?
No, so that's where this differs is, so it would either be your strength, your dexterity, your vitality, or your insight,
Oh, I see.
or it would
Okay.
be tough, cool, beauty, clever, etc.
Oh, so just pick one of them.
Yes, and the skill is
Okay.
always going to be lore for this.
Lore. Okay, okay. I will pick I will pick tough,
Okay.
and I will just be kind of telling it tough love isn't cool. Actually, let me think of that through. Dexterity would be okay, how about I'll pick dexterity, and
Hmm.
then I will whenever it tries to approach, I will try to get it to be more accurate by like occasionally moving the training bag so that it misses, or and make sure that it tries to hit the right target.
Yeah, I think that's solid. So you're
Okay.
going to roll this 3 times, and based on the number of successes you get, I will tell you if it is successful or not.
Okay, so I will. Okay, dexterity and lore roll, submit.
All right, that's 1
Okay,
success.
roll, submit.
That is 3 successes. And
And
then one
then
more
roll
for the
commit.
marbles, 4 successes. Just to let you know for future, for your rank, it is only a 3, so you actually get an extra
Ah,
success. So,
nice.
sort of narratively what happens is you start to sort of like bob and weave with the bag, and Lytton sort of chomps after it a few times, and you more or less sort of fall into a pattern where you and Lytton are both bonding and getting into the feel of things, where when you move left, Lytton is already moving to the left, and when you move right,
Ooh.
Lytton actually cuts you off and not bites down on the bag, but you see that its tongue, its, kind of little tongue that it sticks out, begins to glow
Oh.
with purple light as it licks the bag. And the benefit of it being lick is it doesn't really do anything to the bag other than make it a little bit wet, which is not really a bad thing in the grand scheme of
Perfect.
things.
Yay! Good job, Lytton. You're doing it. You're doing it. And I'm going to kind of do the little like victory pose that I was doing the week before with the shadow boxing, and then the at the end. Assuming that we're done with the training, or are we still in the process of it?
No, actually, those 3 rolls are everything that would accompany one training session.
One montage. Perfect. And how much time do those take?
It's really variable. I'm gonna say that for thematic sake, by the time you finish training Lytton to have the lick ability, which I'm putting in now, I think what it's probably gonna be is that's when the rain is gonna start falling down.
Okay.
So maybe about 3-4 hours, if that.
Got it. Okay, so I don't think lick will be that useful for these upcoming trainers, but I will still have it in. Are you, when you fill it out, will it fill out for me?
Yeah, actually, if you refresh
Okay,
Lytton's
great.
sheet, you should already have lick as a move.
Nice. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay, wait, it's starting to rain. Let me maybe you should come back real quick, Lytton. Oh, actually, wait. First, I have a treat for you, and then I will pull out the little pouch of, or baggie of poke treats. I don't know.
It's probably
And
a baggie.
yeah, a little like Ziploc bag of poke treats, and hand it over to Lytton.
Yeah, and Lytton eagerly takes one of the treats out and begins like sort of nibbling on it. Kind of doing one of those things where it's holding it with its front paw and just sort of like biting it with its teeth. And it would be adorable if it wasn't for the fact that it is starting to rain a little bit more heavily. But Lytton doesn't actually seem to mind. Lytton's just kind of still chewing on its treat, doesn't really seem to care about the rain in its fur.
Okay. Well, since it's starting to rain, do you want to go back into your Pokeball? And I'll hold out the Pokeball, offering to like ask Lytton if it wants to go inside.
I think Lytton jumps forward, but doesn't go into the ball, just sort of gets up onto your shoulder.
Oh, okay. Aw. Okay, so I'm gonna put the poncho on and maybe let Lytton just like kind of hang out. How big are these ponchos? I'm gonna like have Lytton like have the shoulder part of the poncho like too high, and it can like kind of peek out of my like hood area if it wants to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that works.
And then because I wanted to check on Celadon, I wanted to also, especially because we're close to the water, kind of let Celadon out into the water and see if it wants to do some training too.
So when you let Celadon out into the water, it starts to swim around a little bit, and it maybe goes out to like the far end of the pond and then comes on back. And it just sort of looks at you with its big old eyes and just sort of stares, doesn't really say or do anything. It just sort of looks at you.
All right. Well, I'll kind of tilt my head and try to decipher what it's trying to communicate to me. I guess she, right? Let me see this.
Yeah, I think Celadon is a she, I think.
Celadon is she. Okay. What she's trying to tell me, and then I'll just be like, how about this? Actually, let me look at the personality type. Lonely. Aw. I know that you can't like walk around with us, but would you like to would you like a treat? Because we can do a little bit of training, and then I can give you a treat. and then we can, keep going. But I wanted to just check on you and see how you're doing.
So, I think what happens here is you're gonna roll me a, let's call this an insight and
Sure.
a insight in etiquette or insight in empathy. I think would be a good choice for this.
Empathy. Oh, I have empathy. Nice. All right. Go.
All right. Well, that's one success, and I think you're basically telling that Phoebios or Celadon doesn't really trust you quite yet. Doesn't really know what to make of you because you did literally just catch it yesterday.
Yeah.
It's not like Lytton, who pretty much just fell into the cat role pretty easily. It seems that Celadon's going to be almost a pet project.
Okay. Well, that's okay. Would you like to go back into the Pokeball, or did you want to swim around for a little bit while we're near a body of water?
And I'll starts flopping on the bank, and you get the sense that maybe it just wants to go back in its ball.
It just wants to go back in the Pokeball. Alrighty, let's come on back in. And so I'll hold out the Pokeball and activate the little laser thing to recall it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, sounds good. And are we still all full HP, or does the training take out any energy? Okay, still full HP.
No, yeah, it's still full HP.
Sweet. All right. Well, with fire, are there weather effects that happen to like?
Oh yeah.
Fire? Oh yeah. Okay, I figured that as much. Alrighty. All right, and I have a Pokemon that doesn't quite trust me yet. Okay, sounds good. I want to somehow build a little bit more trust with the two of them. But now they kind of just like both went into their little shells. I can't. I feel like I just lost the opportunity to try to bond with Celadon a little bit.
There's never really missed opportunities. There's just delayed opportunities.
I don't want to disturb it too much, but I'm gonna hold the Pokeball up to my face so that I can like kind of quietly talk to Celadon through the ball and just say, I know that you're a little bit scared right now, but I want you to know that I'll protect you, and you will be in good hands with me. And you know what? We'll take it slow. So if you're not comfortable yet, then we'll just I'll show to you that that I can take good care of you. And then I will shrink the ball and put it back on my belt.
All right. So,
okay.
At this point, the rain is pretty steady. Like, it's not a deluge, but it is at least a constant rain.
Okay. In the distance, I see that youngster who probably has. I want to go catch another Pokemon too. Maybe I'll. Do I see any like Pokemon near? Like maybe you said there are Magikarp in the water.
There are Magikarp in the water. Yes.
And there's and what other? And do I see anything in the tall grass near the lake?
I would say initially when you first came onto the route, yes, but since it started to rain, most of the Pokemon have retreated to their dens or otherwise have sort of gone to hide under trees. They're not like out playing as they were before.
Okay. So just Magikarp then. What would it take for me to like kind of search and see if there's anyone that might be catchable?
Sure. Why don't you roll me a insight and a nature here?
Insight and nature. Okay. But this one, insight, nature. Roll. Go.
All right. With one success, you do see that there is a Talo that is sort of sheltering not up in a tree, but down sort of at the roots of the tree. You do sort of see that it is sort of looking around, and if you were to look at it a little bit more carefully, you would see that it's actually sort of just chomping down on some berries. And it might be something you go for, but it also might be something you leave alone. Entirely up to your call.
Okay, how about I kind of slowly approach and I take one of the 4 treats that I have, and I kind of like toss it a little bit close to the Talo and be like, "Hey, you want a treat?"
Interesting. Let me actually see what I have for Talo here.
Ooh,
Interesting.
okay.
All right, so I think Talo is actually going to make a roll of its own, and this is where I'm going to use the rocket roll here.
Rocket roll?
Let's see. Yeah, I get Team Rocket rolls. You get help from chat. I get Team Rocket rolls.
Was there somebody who redeemed a rocket roll? Wow.
Yeah, they did it at the top of the stream. All right, so this is going to be... let's do Insight and Alert on its part, and it doesn't have a modifier on this. So with 0, I think what's going to happen is it is going to sort of hop towards the treat, but before you can say or do anything else, it gulps the treat down, and then it starts to fly at you very rapidly as we start our first Pokemon battle of this session.
Ah, damn it! It's all buffed now from the treat.
All right, let me just clean up. All right, so a wild Talo has indeed appeared. And who are you going to be sending out?
I will send out Litten.
All right, so Litten comes out.
Light him up, Litten. I can't remember what I said last week now.
Actually, I think you kind of combined the two.
Yeah. I can't remember. Just making it up as I go along. So I guess this is the now battle time. So let me go open this up. Okay. Do I go first or do I go second?
We're gonna roll initiative. So there should just be a button for initiative. And it looks like Talo's gonna go first with a 3.
This Talo's got strong initiative.
Yes, it does. So I think Talo begins to beat its wings and it gets into the air and starts to sort of flap over towards Litten. And then with blinding speed, it's going to come in for a peck as its beak glows a little bit. And...
okay.
All right, so it's rolled 2 successes. And as a reminder, you can opt to evade, or you can opt to a clash, or you can opt to just take it head on.
Okay, I will try to evade. Okay, Litten, dodge it!
All right, and that would be Litten's evade. And with 2, you actually succeed. So what happens is, as Talo swoops in with its glowing beak, Litten waits till just... You almost think Litten's going to get hit, but then right at the last second, Litten dodges out of the way, and the Talo kind of swoops past through the rain, circles back around, and begins sort of giving Litten an opportunity to get its own attack in.
All right. Litten, what kind of type is this? It's probably a normal flying. Why don't we go ahead and scratch it, Litten?
All right, go ahead.
Give it the old 1-2. All right, scratchy. Go.
All right, 3 successes. I think it has a chance at evasion here. Let's see if it does. No, it doesn't. So what Litten does is it's sort of how it leapt up to like bat at your hands when you were shadowboxing. It actually leaps up further than before, and its claws glow as it sort of rakes across Talo's face.
Nice.
And yeah, go ahead and roll me
shot,
some damage.
All right,
let's see. Your defense on this would be 1 when it asks you for it. All right, so for 2 damage, the scratch actually brings the Talo down to half health. You can see that it's a little bit weathered. Its wings are not flapping as readily. And it does look like you probably could scratch it again and knock it out if you wanted to. But it definitely looks like it's at half health.
Got it. Okay. I'm not going to use a Pokeball just yet. I'm going to... it doesn't have any... If it is a normal type, then Liquid actually... Okay, let's say if the attack has no effect at all, does it still have a chance of doing the status effect?
No, unfortunately not.
No. Okay. I didn't think so. I'm gonna, but I don't want Litten to attack. Is there an option to like on Litten's turn, like defend harder? Like,
Yeah, I would say we could handle that, but before you give that command, I think the Talo is going to get to act.
okay.
And it's going to come in for another swooping peck, which, unfortunately, maybe it's because it's injured. You don't even have to tell it to dodge. It very easily gets out of the way of the incoming peck.
Okay. I don't want to kill it, but maybe I'll try. Remind me how the weather affects Ember, or maybe can you tell me in more detail how the weather affects? How much does it reduce things by?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So, what happens when it's raining is water types get 1 extra to their damage. Fire types reduce by 1 damage.
By 1 damage. When the damage pool is 5. So it has about the same damage pool as Scratch. And the status effects, like burn, for example, would apply after the opponent's turn, right?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Litten, light it up on fire. Use Ember. I'm going to try using Ember.
All
No
right.
modifier. Or is there a modifier?
No modifier for this instance.
Okay.
All right, a 2. I think it's gonna again attempt to evade, and it does not. So Ember does land.
Okay. And so the damage is minus.
Yeah, your damage is actually minus. So when it asks for modifier, it's -1. When it asks for defense, put in a 2.
Okay, so defense 2. Okay.
Hey,
so
you got 1 damage, and that is
1
important,
damage. Perfect.
as it goes into the red beepy part of the health bar. Exactly. The fire effect sort of washes over Talo, maybe singeing a little bit of its tail feathers. So now what we need to do is you need to roll me a status effect on Ember. There should just be a status button, and it'll tell us whether or not, so it does not get burned, but it is at 1 HP at the moment.
Sweet. All right,
And,
I'm going. Oh, there's a
Renzi
help
just gave
me.
you your help.
Heck yeah! All right, I'm gonna use a Pokeball, and I'm gonna throw it at the Talo.
All right, so when it asks for your modifier on your Pokeball, you would have 1 because it's below half, 1 because it's at 1 HP, and 1 from chat, so a total of 3.
Okay, so catch, modifier 3.
And there you have it. With 3 successes, you throw out the ball, impacting the Talo. It gets sort of sucked inside. Ball falls to the ground. Wiggles once. Wiggles twice. Wiggles the 3rd time. Litten's like almost on top of it, ready to beat the Talo when it comes out. And then
Of course it is.
the ball tings and falls silent.
Good job, Litten. We caught a Talo. And then I'm gonna open up. I'm gonna do the pick up the ball and do my pose, my 1-2, and then I kind of flip the ball in the air and catch it again. And I also want to take a look at the Pokedex entry. What kind of type is this? And what am I looking at?
Let me just get you that.
And
sheet.
also, Litten is still full health. What the heck?
Oh yeah.
What a bro.
All right, so you should now have access under your Pokemon. You should have access to Talo, which apparently the Dex entry didn't copy over, but you should be able to see it is a normal flying.
Normal flying. Okay, so I guessed right. I figured it was the Pidgey of this world.
It is, yeah.
All right. So Renzi's the one who helped me out there, so I'm going to name this Talo Renzi.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, let me wait. Species? Where do I change the name?
So what you're gonna want to do is you see at the top bar it has there's an edit button.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, you would click that edit and you would change the name. Yep.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I actually did that with Celadon or if I did it.
I think I did it for Celadon.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Sweet. Now we have 3 Pokemon. Oh, and it was on the first try Pokeball too. I saved Pokeball money. Yes. Okay. Before I tackle the other trainers, I want to go back to the Pokemon Center and heal up my Tailo.
All right. And as we see you sort of run back to town before you start the gauntlet, I think that is an excellent opportunity to take a 5 to 10 minute break. So we'll be back.
Perfect.
We'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes, everybody. Stick around. All right, welcome back. If you just are tuning in, Yuma just caught a Tailo, which is pretty exciting stuff. But yeah, by the time you come back from the Pokemon Center back to Route 102, the rain has not stopped. It's gotten a little bit lighter, but it's been going on for so long at this point that instead of like grass, you're more dealing with marshland and mud. So it's a little bit miserable trudging through it, but it's not like super bad, if you get my meaning.
Got it. Yeah, it's like kind of annoying, but it's like just a mucky hike.
Yeah, it's maybe one of those things where like your boots or your shoes will sink in just a little bit, and you have to like pull them up, and there's like a sucking sound when you pull it up.
Oh,
yeah, it's that weird sensation.
All right. So with my Pokemon all healed and back at the entrance of Route 102, I'm gonna walk on over to the youngster that's nearby and stand in his line of vision and kind of point at him with like a fist and be like, I hear there's a gauntlet that I need to do.
And I think it's one of those things where you almost sneak up behind him, and when he turns, he goes, oh yeah, okay, you're the new girl. You're the new girl. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so we have like this, and he's like super excited. He's like tripping over his words. Yeah. We have this cool gauntlet thing, and if you beat all of us, we'll give you these cool Pokeballs that Tiana found. It's gonna be really, really cool.
What?
But there's a stipulation. You can't heal once you battle me. You can't go back and heal. You have to finish the gauntlet to get the prize.
Got it. And I'll pretend you didn't say that, but thanks for the tip.
And then
like about the Pokeball thing, because it's supposed to be like a surprise.
Right. And the youngster sort of blinks a few times. He goes, crap, I wasn't supposed to. I challenge you to a Pokemon battle.
I accept. And then I will like kind of jump back so that it's like we're getting ready for like the Pokemon battle. So we have like space in between us.
Oh, yeah. And for environmental effects, just so you know, because I'm going to start introducing some more environment for you to play with. Right now, you are at sort of the edge of what would be a thicket of grass. If you were to go to the north side of this thicket, in range is a series of trees. And then if you come out of the thicket to the south, there's more like flat plain. But remember, there is still that mud.
Got it. Okay. Mud as well as thick grass as well as trees. And you said plain? Or the plain is the mud area.
Plain is the mud, yeah. But yeah. As you all sort of square up, the youngster, whose name is Calvin, because apparently everybody shouts their name when you get into a Pokemon battle, Calvin sort of pulls the Pokeball out. Exactly. Calvin pulls the Pokeball out and throws it out and says, Poochyena, I choose you. And a Poochyena appears, and the battle music, of course, begins playing.
Let me ask first, did Litten level up or no, right?
So that is something we do need to track. Every time Litten either helps you catch or beats an opponent, do make a note of it somewhere.
Oh, okay. So notes and achievements?
Yeah, I think you're at 3 right now.
Sure. So 3 Pokemon beaten. Or caught. Beaten, caught. Okay. But so he's Litten's still starter level though.
Correct.
Okay, got it. All right, Litten, let's get him. I'll roll for initiative.
Yep, you're getting the hang of it.
Go.
All right, let's see how Poochyena does here. I have high hopes, but we'll see what happens.
Oh my god!
Wow. Yeah, I had really
so
high
fast.
hopes. So I think Calvin sort of throws out his hand in an excited fashion and says, Pucciana, show him your bite! And Pucciana almost howls a little bit and comes rocketing forward through the thick, tall grass at Lytton. And that is 3 accuracy. So would you like to clash,
3.
evade, or take it?
All right, let's oh, clash won't work actually. It's strength plus. Oh wait. So it says pool in the stat thing. So is that the pool total of those 2 things added together?
Yes.
Oh yeah, cuz clash has 0 right now. Okay, got it.
And it's one of those things where clash is tied to a move, so you can change it between strength and special depending on what move you're using. Because it's one of those things like, so he's coming in with a bite. If you were to respond with a scratch, that would be a strength plus clash. If you were responding with an ember, that would be special plus clash.
I see. Oh, okay. So, both of those are still not 3. So, all right, Lytton, try to dodge it. I'm going to click evade. Didn't dodge
Yeah, and
it.
unfortunately, does not look like Lytton evades. What is Lytton's vitality or defense score? They should be the same thing.
Vitality is 1.
All right. So the bite does land, only dealing 1 physical damage. So Lytton has 1 HP less. There's also a chance for a flinch, which you're lucky you do not get a flinch effect.
Got it.
So
okay,
as
so I'll mark this as a 3 health. 3 out of 4, right?
Yep. And as Lytton is sort of bitten, we'll say on its left front leg, Lytton sort of slaps the Pucciana aside and manages to get free, but does have like kind of a welt or maybe a bruise on its left upper leg.
Don't worry, Lytton, you can shake that off, right? I guess. What type is this? Dark? Is Pucciana? I'm going to look this up because I assume I can do this during my. Can I do this with the Pokeball or Pokedex?
Yeah, you can look it up. Pucciana is dark type, if I remember correctly.
Dark type. Okay, and I'm going to refer back to the weakness chart.
That's what it's there
because I cannot remember for the life of me the type charts. Okay. Pucciana. Or dark. Resistant to ghosts and dark. Is that correct? Got it.
Correct.
Okay, well that sucks. Well, all right, let's why don't you give it some payback? Let's give it the old 1-2. Go scratch it, Lytton. And I'm gonna scratch. No modifiers, right?
No mods, correct.
Go.
2 accuracy. I think what Calvin's gonna do is he's say, Calvin or Pucciana, show him what a real bite is like. And Pucciana kind of comes in for a clash. So let's see how well they do here. Yeah, so what happens is Lytton swipes up, like literally cutting through the grass around it with its claws. Pucciana does the same with its rocketing forward bite, and the 2 moves connect, and both Pokemon are going to take 1 damage as they are more or less rebuffed by each other's attacks. And Calvin sort of cheers and says, "You got him, Pucciana!"
Don't worry about it, Lytton. You'll get him next time. Okay. I will. Potions restore 2, right?
Correct. And each potion you can use twice.
And each potion I can use twice. Okay. Yes, I will use a potion next turn.
Okay. In that case, let's go ahead and apply your full health because the Pucciana is going to come in with another attack. And what I'm going to say is that based on the number of successes, it might be one of those things where Lytton doesn't get an evade chance. So just so you know.
Okay. Let me look here. Yuma, I used the potion once. So I used 1. Okay.
All right, well, I have good news and bad news. The good news is you can still evade. The bad news is that, unfortunately, if it does not evade, if Litton does not evade, that is going to be a critical hit.
Mwah, because it's got a
Multiple
3.
sixes. Mm-hmm.
Multiple 6s? Or okay. Okay, Litton, let's I don't have any revives either. Yeah, well, we're gonna try to evade, of course. All right, Litton, try to dodge it. Because if I just take it, then it's just taking it. There's like you didn't do anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no penalty to trying to evade, is there?
No, you can evade as long as it's not like one of those things where like you're against like multiple opponents. You can evade pretty much one-on-one, and it is a good thing that as Poochyena comes in and slaps its jaws tight. It catches only the briefest hints of fur as Litton dodges out of the way. And Litton looks at you, and it nods very slowly as if it knows what you want it to do next.
As if I know what it wants to do next?
Yes. You get the sense that its mouth is beginning to sort of pour out flames from it.
Okay. You know what to do, Litton, and then I will just kind of point and say Ember, and because that's what I think it wants to do.
Yeah, you got it.
Sure, got it. Go.
All right, that is 1. We'll see if the Poochyena evades. It does. So what happens is at close range, Litton lets out an ember, and it streaks past Poochyena and impacts a tree. Now, thanks to the rain, the tree doesn't catch fire, but there is definitely a charred mark on the tree and a little bit of weakness in that tree as Litton sort of squares off with Poochyena again. And Calvin, the youngster, sort of laughs and says, "You'll never hit Poochyena with a weak ember like that."
Yeah, I will. I'm going to... Like, how weak would you say is the tree?
I would say if you gave it a good stretch, you might be able to bring it down.
Got it. Okay, that's what I was wondering. Okay, Litton, let's show them we're more brains than brawn. And then... Would this be on my action or on their action, or can I just?
Let's do it more narrative here because I think I know what you're going with. You are basically going to tell Litton to go for the tree, yeah?
Yeah, basically going to tell Litton to go for the tree and try to get crush that Poochyena with the tree.
All right, as one does apparently. All right, so the way we're going to handle this is going to be an opposed attack and almost like a clash, but using your brawl instead of clash. So dexterity plus brawl or whatever it is for your accuracy for the attack, and we'll just see who gets the better accuracy.
Okay, dexterity plus brawl, go.
All right, so 1 there.
Okay.
And let's see, they're going to have that much. All right, so here's what's going to happen. Poochyena is going to come in, and it's going to get Litton's rear leg, dealing a grand total of 1 damage. But Litton manages again to pull free, and instead of slashing at Poochyena, it swoops towards the tree that it hit with the ember, and it slashes across it like a skilled lumberjack. And moments later, the tree begins to creak and falls towards Poochyena. And Calvin shouts for Poochyena to dodge, but Poochyena is struck by the tree. So the way we're going to handle this is I'm going to let you roll the tree damage. So the way you're going to do this is in chat, in Roll20 chat, you're going to do /roll and then 5d6.
5d6.
All right, and that means that it is going to take 2 damage as the tree falls on top of it. So it's not actually fainted yet. It still has 1 HP remaining. But it is currently trapped by the tree, is what I'll tell you.
Okay. Good job. Good job, Litton. Let's show them that we can't miss with that emperor. And I'm gonna point and to use Ember. Okay.
Yeah,
let me
all you need
close
is one
this.
successor and you've won the battle.
I hope so. All right, go.
And you get the two you
Yeah.
need. So this time Litton charges up another shot of Ember, and as it flies out, Poochiana goes, "Brr," and then it hits. And when the mist and the sort of spray of water that comes out, or the steam as the rain mixes with the Ember, you see that, in stereotypical Pokemon fashion, the Poochiana is like limp, but its eyes are kind of the circles. It is fainted.
Oh, yay. Okay, so I'll mark 4 Pokemon beaten / caught.
Mm-hmm.
And Litton has 3 HP. Okay, good.
Mm-hmm. And Calvin says, dang it, I thought I had that. Poochiana, return. And returns and says,
Sweet.
well, I guess you won. Oh yeah, right, I'm supposed to give you money. And he pats his pockets and pulls out 350 and hands it to you.
350. Wow. And I'm going to take it, and I'm not going to like rub it in his face that I won.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, let me do this. 560 is how much money I have now. With that, I'm just gonna be. I'm gonna crouch down to Litton and be like, "Good job, Litton, you did it!" And 1 down, 3 to go. 3 to go, and I'm gonna hold my hand out for a little high five.
Yep, definitely gives you a high five. Maybe even does that like fist bump on the back end where it's like slap and then comes back.
Oh yeah. High five and then the little fist bump. That's so cute. Mm-hmm. Ooh, let's make a secret handshake later. And so I'll say that, and then kind of look around with not 2 HP down, so I don't want to use a potion just yet, but maybe I can take another one of those treats, those Poke treats, and hand it over to Litton and be like, don't worry, or not don't worry. We'll keep going. What do you say? And then give it to. Where's my treat thing? Okay, so I have 2 treats left. Or wait, 1 treat left because I had thrown 1 at the Talo.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so I used 1 potion. Okay, cool. I'm just trying to make sure I'm keeping track of everything correctly.
No, I appreciate it.
Sweet. Let's go over to let's find the next trainer, and I'm going to kind of like put my fingers to my head like I'm searching for something in the distance. What do I see from where I'm standing?
So what you see is that you would go across the worn road that, again, is more mud than it is grass at this point. But in a patch of grass directly across from you, behind 2 trees, there does appear to be a shorter gentleman, maybe even more of a teenager would be a better descriptor, but wearing a sort of a sun hat, is carrying around like a literal bug-catching net, probably a bug catcher of some sort.
Okay.
That's probably the closest one. If you were to look further down the road, you would see in the distance, in another thicket of grass before an embankment, there is another youngster. But unfortunately, the path sort of goes to the north and then curves behind some trees. So those are the only 2 you see right now.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of crouch a little bit to like look at the youngster Calvin and just be like, what can you tell me about let me rephrase that. Let me not say that out loud. Yes, okay. So you're the first member of the Elite Four here, right? What can you tell me about the other members of the Elite Four?
And I think because you phrased it that way, he is, of course, going to be very receptive. And he says, "Oh, well, I mean, if I'm an Elite Four member now, yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Well, you see Rick over there," and he points at the bug catcher. Rick has a bunch of worm pull. And Alan over there, and he points at the other youngster. Alan has a Zigzagoon and a Talo.
Oh, that's good to know. I'm sure you're the toughest one out of all of them, aren't you?
Well, I mean, as long as you don't tell anyone else that, they'll get jealous.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll have an easy time against them because I'm sure you were the strongest one. And I'll wink, and then I'll kind of like stand up straight. Thanks for the tip, and I'll like kind of give him a little salute.
Mm-hmm. He smiles and waves at you.
And then I'll walk off and head towards Bugcatcher Rick.
Alrighty. So, I think by the time you actually get over to Bugcatcher Rick, he does sort of meet you. You don't surprise him like you did Calvin. And Rick sort of turns around and sort of sizes you up and says, "Ah, you must be why I heard all those explosions earlier. What kind of Pokemon do you have?"
I think that you're just gonna have to find out.
Pokemon battle it'll be then. Very well, I accept.
Yeah. Perfect. I will. So we're in the grass right now, right?
Yes, this time you're in the grass, and the main difference between this battle and the last one is your battlefield is surrounded on either side by trees. So you don't really have the advantage of maybe going out of the grass into sort of flat land. You're either in the grass or you're in the trees for this one.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to send out Renzi, I choose you. And then I'm going to, well, not I choose you. Let's go get him.
All right. So as Talo comes out, it does indeed sort of begin flapping into the air, waiting for your command. And let's go ahead and roll initiative here.
Okay, initiative. Blah.
Right.
Ooh.
Let's see. So where did I put Wormhole Sheet? There it is. All right. I don't think it's gonna beat that, but you never know. Yeah, there's no way. I'll roll it for giggles. Yeah, it's not a very fast Pokemon. All right. Why is Talo not coming? Renzi, why are you not coming on the map? Renzi. Renzi. Roll 20. Roll
Renzi,
20.
Come on.
All right, let me try this. If I were to drag that. Oh, you know what it is? I think I know why it did it, because when I copied the sheet, it didn't copy the token. Give me one moment, and then you'll be able to access it.
Oh, okay, sure.
All right, so change that to Renzi. Change this to the correct token. All right, so now it should be... Yep, there's so many Renzi tokens. All right, let's delete all but one. There you go. Now you are set.
Perfect. I'm glad that I didn't even check the gender ahead of time, but I'm glad it's male. I think Renzi identifies as he, him. Okay. Renzi, give that Wurmple a good old peck. Give it the old 1-2.
All right, so go ahead and you know the drill by now. Let's see what you got.
Oh, nice.
That is very nice. And again, I don't even think it's possible for them to clash or evade, so they're just going to take it.
Eat it. Damage, go. What's the defense?
The defense would be 1, but because it's a bug type, you actually nullify that out with your advantage. So you can just leave it at 0.
Okay, so 0. Got it. Oh,
and,
wow.
Let me check that. Yeah, with a 3... you instantly, or Renzi, swoops in and sends the Wurmple sort of tumbling over itself, and the Wurmple barely manages to pick itself back up.
Oh, awesome job, Renzi. You did it. Or, well, you're doing it.
Because that's my bird noise's caw.
Yeah.
But at this point, I think... the Bugcatcher Rick is going to shout out, "Wurmple, show him your might! String shot!" And he's going to ham it up. You can't give me a Pokemon name and not tell me to ham it up.
I dig it. I dig it a lot.
All right, so you do have an opportunity to evade this, but since it's not a damaging move, you cannot clash it.
Oh, makes sense. Okay. I will dodge it, Renzi. Fly into the trees. Flip.
Okay. And you do. So as the Wurmple begins to spew literal silk in an attempt to sort of envelop or tie down Renzi, Renzi easily banks to the side and flies into the trees to the north. And Rick shouts, "Come on, Wormpole! I know your inner strength. You can do better."
I'm Yuma's ears are just gonna perk up and be like, "Oh, this guy's so fun." And what I'm gonna do is, okay, Renzi, you have the higher ground.
I have the high ground, Anakin.
You have the higher ground, Anakin. Go swoop down and peck it again. And I'm going to go and go.
All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to introduce the will mechanic, because we haven't done it quite yet.
Okay.
So there's two ways that you can use will points here. The first is that you can use it to ignore pain, and pain is something that we're going to handle in a narrative sense rather than a actual mechanic sense, because it can get really bad really quickly.
Okay.
But basically what it means is if I spend one of Wormpole's will, it'll ignore the pain and meet it head on. The other way you can use will is you can actually re-roll or use one of the unsuccessful die, like a 1, a 2, or a 3, and you can re-roll all of those during this round.
Oh.
Now, the catcher is that you only have 3 will points to start with, and the only way to recover it is you have to rest for a few days, you have to accomplish something great, or you have to get them as a reward as for good roleplay, which, I'll let you know if it happens.
Okay, I see. Sounds good.
But yeah. What this is going to mean at the end of the day, though, is Wormpole is going to go for a tackle, and if it connects, we'll see what happens. But let's see if it even manages it. All right, so I am going to re-roll one of those, because I did spend a will point for it. And I rolled a 6, which means it is a critical. So what happens is Renzi...
Clash.
Yep, critical clash. So as Renzi swoops in with its beak, Wormpole's little horn on its top of its head sort of glows, and it leaps forward and meets Renzi in midair. And there's almost a little poof of air as the two Pokemon fly past each other. And Wormpole goes to the ground unconscious and fainted. And Renzi starts to fly triumphantly around, but then you notice that it has taken 2 damage from the clash.
Ooh. Let's see. Good job. That's okay. It's okay, 2.
And the worst news, perhaps, is that as Rick sort of returns that Wormpole, he says, "You did well, Wormpole, injuring the opponent. But what they didn't expect was Wormpole number 2! And he throws out another Wormpole.
Good job, Renzi. I'm actually gonna ask Renzi. It's like, what do you think? Do you want to stay in? And you know what? I'm actually gonna ask Chat Renzi if Chat Renzi wants to stay in. Renzi, did you want to stay in?
I believe in Renzi. I don't know about you. Oh, the other thing you should know is take a look at Renzi's. Look at his ability right there at the top of his sheet. Also, Renzi says he thinks he can beat them.
Yeah, I think you can too. All right. Oh, it's actually, this is a beginner level. I actually didn't notice that. Wow. And you said ability at the top of the sheet?
Yeah. If you look, sort of that ability to the right side in that black box.
Oh, guts. Oh, I see. But it's not affected by a status condition right now, right?
Yet, but I did want to bring it to your attention.
Okay. I do see that. I understand.
Excellent. All right. So that's sort of how I teach these things, is I just slowly introduce, the mechanics as we go through, so that
I appreciate
it's not overwhelming. But yeah, since it is a new Wormpole, let's go ahead and get a new initiative roll here.
All right,
I'm pretty sure you can beat a 1. I'm fairly confident. Oh. All right, let's do this. Roll me a 1d100 if you can. You want to get better than a 50.
Roll 1d100.
All right, so you are indeed going to get to go first.
All right. Renzi, you know the drill now. Well, you know that you did this twice already. Let's go and peck that Wormpole. And go.
All right,
Oh.
1 accuracy. It's a long shot, but I think Rick's gonna sort of call out, "Wormhole, evade that attack. I believe in the you that believes in me that believes in you." And the wormhole does evade. The wormhole leaps out of the way. In fact, it manages to latch onto one of the trees. And as it sort of
Ah.
clings to the tree, Rick shouts, "Yes, we've got them where we want them. Tie it down with string shot." And let's see. To success.
Okay. And this is no, it does not deal damage, right?
Correct. So you can only evade or take it.
All right. Does this count as a status effect?
Let's just say it might.
Okay.
Also, you do have a help Yuma out that Phantom is the opera just redeemed for you.
I could just evade it then. All right, Renzi, fly out of the way. We can get this. Okay.
And you can with the 3. You do. So
Yeah.
Renzi, again, the wormhole fires out a bit of silk, trying to capture Renzi, the agile Renzi, in its sort of silk. And Renzi just sort of spirals out of the way and manages to evade the attack completely. Now, the wormhole is still going to be on the tree, but in general, it is your move once again.
Does that consume the? I guess it would have, because it's like whatever the next roll is, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay, got it. All right, Renzi. It doesn't seem like they're really attacking much, so let's peck it again. Yeah.
All right, let's see. A 3.
Go. Ugh.
Or no, a 1. That's okay. So a 1.
Yeah.
So I think, again, Rick's going to shout out, "You know the drill. We know their weakness. Dodge with all of your might." And unfortunately, Wormhole does not dodge. Wormhole dodges into the attack. So go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Let's see. Roll damage. And the defense is 0 because of the advantage, right?
Correct. You got it. All right, and that is enough that this wormhole only takes 1 peck to go down. And this time Rick just sort of sighs and returns Wormhole and says, "You did well, Wormhole. I see we have met a very strong opponent today." And then, of course, the winning text, "Yuma defeated, Bugcatcher Rick," appears on the screen.
Yeah, good job, Renzi. And similar to what I did with Lytton, I'm going to wait. What kind of nature is this? Gentle. I'm going to hold an arm out for Renzi to land on, and kind of give it a little thumbs up and be like, "Yeah, good job, Renzi."
And Renzi maybe like sort of waves a wing at you as it lands on your other shoulder, because Litton's on the other one. So you've kind of got Litton on your right and Renzi on your left.
Yeah. 1 Pokemon defeated. Okay.
And yeah, I think as you're doing your little post-victory celebration, the Bugcatcher Rick sort of steps up to you, Yuma, and offers out a congratulatory handshake, very firm handshake if you take it.
I will return the handshake with a firm grip as well, and kind of stand up straight so that I can like match the demeanor of Bugcatcher Rick. Your Wormholes fought well. They were exceptionally strong opponents.
Yes, and I can see you've trained very well. Let me give you some advice. The youngster behind me, and he points at Alan, will not challenge you. I foresee you handling Alan with no problem. However, Tiana, you will have difficulty with.
And my ears prick up at that. Did Calvin say Tiana? No, right?
I think he did.
He did? Oh, okay. Well, in this case, I'm going to react a little bit and be like, "It's Tiana." And just be like, Bug, how old would you say I would estimate Bugcatcher Rick is?
he's in his chuny phase, so he's like 14 maybe.
Okay,
So
so
somewhere around that age.
Okay, probably wouldn't ask too much like advice in that regard, but I'll say I do expect Tiana will be a very tough opponent, and let me think about this. I do expect Tiana will be a very tough opponent. Are there any as a fellow or as a as a fellow athlete or trainer, what kind of advice would you give to me about her? Did he just give me advice? He didn't, right?
He kind of said that you'd had difficulty. He hasn't really given you advice per se, but Rick sort of nods and says, "You will want to make sure when you face Tiana that it is still raining, for if the sun comes out, your doom will be unmatched."
Oh, I understand. And what I'll do... Did he give me money, by the way?
Oh, yeah. But as you sort of pull your hand away from the handshake, you see that there is 400 cash in your hand.
Oh, he like slipped it in? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
All right, 960. I will look at my hand in surprise and be like, wow, thank you. And kind of give him a... I'll like stand with my hands on my hips, like I'm very like just kind of trying to match his stature, and be like, I want to like compliment him somehow or something like that. I believe your Wurmples will be the toughest in the land. I will return someday and challenge you again so that we can see how we've both grown.
Ah, very well. Then I think it is only acceptable to do this. And he kind of waves his Pokegear over yours, and you get his number.
Oh, so as he waves it, I will like kind of do I'm gonna like role play a little bit with him, where like I like pull out my Pokegear and like do some like Power Rangers style like arm movements, and then hold it out in a like very flourished way so that he can like so that we can both like chuny it up a little bit.
I love it. And yeah, your Pokegear beeps, and you can indeed. So the one thing is that it's not only just good roleplay to like give you phone numbers now and again, but any trainer you have a phone number of, you can actually go back and fight again down the road.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and they like level up a little bit compared to like what I did too.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where this is an actual mechanic in the Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald games, is that you can re-challenge them. And they'll have not only stronger Pokemon, but even new Pokemon from time to time.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Slipping that past you, member of the Elite Four. Okay, so I'll follow up with I told Calvin that I'm sure the four of you are just as strong as the Elite Four. So I'm but I wait, not but. That you four are just as strong as the Elite Four. I expect this will be the toughest matches of my entire journey.
Indeed, and I wish you well on your journey. And he kind of puts his hand in a fit, like he does a fist into an open hand and then bows.
Okay. I will mimic his motion and bow as well. And last thing, what kind of stuff do you think Tiana likes? Are you friends with her? Does she
Tiana liking things. She likes chesto berries, I know that much.
Got it. Sounds good. I saw on the map. Well, yes. I'll start walking away from Rick and towards Youngster Allen. But I saw on the map that this like area has berries in it.
It does indeed. They're like, let me actually point that out so that I think this should show up for chat. At least that's going to be the hope anyway. Let's see. Oh, nope, that's not the burn effect I want. Let me actually do something that'll show up. So up here, that is a berry
Okay.
patch. And if you had berries, you could plant a tree there if you so wanted to.
Oh, so that's a patch. It doesn't have berries yet.
Correct. Yeah, it's one of those things that eventually you're going to get given like a berry care kit. And then you can start planting berries and taking care of them and going back to harvest, etc., etc., etc.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay. Well, I will keep that in mind. Thanks, Rick. And then I will head over to. Well, first I'm gonna use a potion. The second tick of that potion on Renzi.
Okay. So that will
So
heal
I
Renzi to
will
full.
consume that potion. So I have 4 potions instead of 5, and Renzi will be healed to full. Renzi is at 4 HP. Okay.
All right.
Great. And I will kind of waltz up to youngster Alan and I will point at him as well and just say, Alan, I challenge you to a Pokemon battle, the third one of the gauntlet.
So I've been waiting to do this voice, and Chad, I'm going to apologize in advance, but Alan turns around, and Alan says, you think you can defeat me? That's not going to happen! And of course, little spiral effect happens, and it's time for another battle.
Yes! All right.
All right, so Alan actually is going to toss out a Zigzagoon, and in terms of environment, you're once again in tall grass. No trees that are going to help you out here. You do have the option of regular ground, but this time you also have an embankment, like a small hill that you could use to your advantage as well.
Small hill. Okay. Zigzagoon, I think, if I recall, is a normal type. I'm going to look that up real quick. Zigzagoon. Normal. Is it normal dark?
Nope, should just be normal. Well,
Normal.
it has a dark form, but this one is just normal.
Oh, okay. I guess I must have been looking at the non-standard one.
Yeah,
okay,
it's the Alolan one, I think is what it is. Or maybe it's the Sword and Shield one. Either way, it's normal.
Okay. I'm going to bring out Litten, go! Where's Litten? Okay, Litten. All right, light him up, Litten. Okay, and then I'm gonna roll initiative.
All right, so that's a 2. I believe in Zigzagoon. I don't know if Zigzagoon believes in me, but we'll find out.
Believe in the me who believes. No.
Ooh, apparently Zigzagoon believed really hard. So Zigzagoon's going to act first, and Alan is going to call out, let's keep this very standard, Zigzagoon. Let's start with the tackle. And Zigzagoon is going to come in with a tackle.
Okay.
So that's an accuracy of 2.
I am going to clash with. I am going to clash with that, and that's a strength because it's a physical, right?
Well, it can be either. So if you want to use Scratch to clash it, it would be a strength. If you want to use Ember to clash it, it would be a special.
The scores are the same, so and there's no type advantage here, so I would assume. So it's gonna tackle me. Back up and give it a jab, Litten, and then I'm gonna click clash. No.
Yeah, unfortunately not enough. So Litten does try and use its Scratch to sort of bat the Zigzagoon aside, but Zigzagoon sort of slips past the attack and manages to headbutt Litten almost on its solar plexus. At least I think that's what it's called.
Like the little chest part.
This is going to be only 1 damage, but just the sound of the tackle and the speed of it, you really probably don't want to get hit by that tackle again.
Oof. Okay. Litten. Don't want to get hit by that tackle again. That does look pretty bad. Okay. It's my turn though now.
Correct.
And is it still raining?
It is starting to drizzle, so the rain is letting up a little bit.
Same effects on Ember.
Correct.
Okay. All right, Lynn. Let's try an Ember anyway. Let's light him up. I'm gonna bloop. Modifier, no modifier. Okay.
All right, a 2. It'll try and evade. We'll see if it actually does so. I think it does.
Ooh.
So Litton tries to fire out a little fireball at Zigzagoon, but Zigzagoon just sort of hops to the side, and the fireball just sort of hits the hill behind Zigzagoon and doesn't really do much, unfortunately. But the good or bad news is that it is now time for Zigzagoon to do something a little bit differently. In fact, the trainer is going to call out, "Let's make sure it can't do that again. Use grapple." And it's going to call out cutely.
It attacked first, right?
Right, but it was, so you just did your Ember, and now it's back to its turn.
Oh, okay. If I wanted to use an item or recall, do I interrupt that, or?
Yeah, you would do it before the growl happens.
Okay. Let me see this, actually. Okay, I'm reading Litton's ability.
Mm-hmm.
When this Pokemon's HP is at half or less, pain penalization will not reduce successes from damage rolls of its fire-type moves, and they'll get an extra die to their damage pool.
Correct.
So, pain penalization? I just wanted to ask you what that
Yeah, so don't really so much about the pain penalization. Specifically, it's going to be one of those things where I'll tell you if pain applies. But the important thing is that you do get an extra damage die, which is important there.
Okay. Okay, so for this one, it's gonna growl. I wouldn't know that ahead of time, but I would want to use... okay, whatever. It's fine. I'll just let it growl.
I think the difference here is that because this is not a physical attack, I think this is just going to hit you. The Zigzagoon is going to growl cutely, and Litton is like a little bit more wary, like it doesn't really know what to do with the Zigzagoon. And what that means is until you either swap Litton out or you win the battle, the strength of Litton is -1. So just remember, you have a -1 modifier on anything strength related.
Anything strength related?
Mm-hmm.
Meaning physical?
Correct.
Okay. Got it. Unsure about the attack. Oh, so it like did a cute growl, and it's like, aw. It's like, I can't punch you.
It's cute. I don't want to hit it.
Okay. Alrighty. Litton, let's try an Ember again. So I'm going to hit this no modifier. Oh my god.
All right, 1.
These rolls tonight.
All right, let's see. Yeah, so even though that you notice that Litton's Ember is a bit larger than it usually is, and maybe a little bit more blue in tint, because as flames get hotter, they kind of turn blue. So there's like specks of blue in with the orange and red. But unfortunately, Zigzagoon definitely dodges out of the way. And at this point, it's one of those situations where they're kind of squared off, where Zigzagoon is to the west and Litton is to the east, and the hill is to the north. So you're kind of just in the thicket of things right now. And it is at this point that the trainer is going to... Alan is going to call out and say, "We've got them right. Use tackle." God, I love doing that voice. I know people hate it, but I love doing that voice.
It's cutting out a tiny bit on Discord. I'm not sure if it's like
Is
getting
it?
Yeah. Well, just for me. I'm not sure if it's also showing up on stream, but it's cutting out for me a tiny bit.
All right, hold on, because we got to fix that, because I'm not going to do the voice if it's going to cut out.
It might just be the threshold or something like that.
No, that's exactly what it is. Is my threshold is set weirdly. So that's why it was cutting out. So you should be good now.
Okay,
it is
try it
cutting
again.
a little. Yeah. All right. Basically, Alan sort of calls out, "It's time for a tackle."
Okay, I could hear it that time. This time I'm gonna see. Do I get to see what its number is before I choose, or
Yeah, you get to see what it rolls on its accuracy.
Okay.
It rolled 2, so...
All right, let's evade it this time. And don't get hit by that tackle, Litton. Let's go.
And
Oh,
indeed,
thank God.
Litton is motivated to leap out of the way because it doesn't want to take that tackle. And Zigzagoon rushes past and then doubles back as they reverse. So now Litton is to the west and now Zigzagoon is to the east.
Ah, they've swapped spots. Okay. Let's try to light it up again. Use an ember.
All right, I believe.
I also believe. Go. Oh, come on.
We didn't believe hard enough. We didn't believe hard enough.
Apparently not.
No.
Oh
and
my
he dodges out of
God.
the way again. Oh man. So I think at this point, it's pretty clear that these Pokemon are very evenly matched in speed and in accuracy. And I think it's one of those things where Alan sort of starts to laugh a little bit and he says, oh, well, that's interesting. No one's really been able to evade his attacks before.
Whoa. And no one's been able to evade Litton's Ember this much either.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not losing today. And he calls out for another tackle attack.
Okay.
Survey says, all right, only one.
Well, neither are we. And I'm going to also have it evade.
And I'm going to say,
right.
because I think what we're going to do here to make combat a little bit more flavorful is that if you do that again, like if you get 2 or more successes over the other, I'm going to say you get a +1 on your next roll, whatever it is, because I think that is thematically appropriate.
Yeah, because it's how many 6s? There's a 6 in there. I mean, but it is also 2 over, and it was the maximum amount of dice, and yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
Good job, Litton. We'll get him this time, and then I'm going to call for another Ember. Put your heart into it, Litton. Let's go. Click.
3.
Oh,
all right,
heart.
so Zigzagoon has to literally roll max successes for this not to hit it.
Here
he
we
rolled
go.
a 1. You have hit him with Ember. Let's see what the damage is.
Okay, let's go. So that's +1 for the blaze. But how much defense does Zigzagoon have?
Just 1. So I think overall you're still at a 0, I think overall.
Okay, 0 overall. All right, go.
All right, and actually 3 is the magic number. That this time as Litton fires off another Ember, you can tell that Litton is pouring all of its soul into this attack because it cries out with a really loud nya. And the Zigzagoon does try to dodge out of the way, but the fireball hits it straight on, and as the flames wash over Zigzagoon, they sort of fade into mist in the drizzle, and Zigzagoon is on the ground with swirly eyes, fainted.
Oh, you did it! Good job, Litton! And I'm going to kind of jump up in the air, but I will keep an eye out on this youngster unless he has another one coming up.
Oh, he does, because he returns Zigzagoon and looks at it and says, "You did a good job today. We'll just have to rely on Talo." And he throws out what you were expecting, maybe. Another Talo.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, what I would say here is that without using your turn, you have the option of swapping out for another Pokemon. It does not cost your action.
Okay, I was gonna ask if that was the case. It's like, oh, the enemy is about to use Talo. Would you like to switch?
Pretty much.
I think I would like to switch to Renzi.
All right, Talo on Talo action. I love it.
Talo v Talo. All right, Renzi.
It's time for initiative. Let's see how we do.
Initiative.
All right, a 2. I feel fairly confident that I can beat that. Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay.
All right, so I think Alan is going to shout out, "Let's show them who the superior Talo is!" And Talo, the enemy Talo, comes in with a peck. And that's going to be... Yeah, I would say bird fight. That's going to be 2 accuracy.
Okay, I'm going to yell, bird fight! And I'm going to say, clash with a peck of your own. Clash.
Alrighty.
Ooh.
Ooh, so you actually get more successes. So I think what's going to happen then is they're still going to each take 1 damage. But for thematic's sake, the enemy Talo is going to look a little bit worse for the wearer than Renzi does. So as the Talos sort of like peck and like scratch at each other in midair, they break apart and square up across from one another.
And Renzi looks like a little bit more, determined than the other.
Correct, yeah.
Good job, Renzi. Let's return. Let me think about this. So maybe less strength would be good. All right. Give it a growl so that we can intimidate it with your growl.
All right.
Can I do I use a modifier for that? It sounded like there was some. It's like a pool of 1, if whether or not the
I was
growl
gonna say
comes out.
because it's a sound-based thing, it can't really be evaded, which is why it's so low. But if you do roll a success, it will just sap 1 strength away.
Okay. Go. And go. What?
Yeah, so I think what happens is your Renzi begins to chirp a little bit, and instead of like a cute growl, it's kind of like caw, and it doesn't really,
it's like what?
doesn't really cause any confusion or like reluctance in the enemy Talo, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I think you know what's coming next. It's more bird fighting.
Bird fight.
So, how do you feel about it too this time? Oh, Nick has also given you a little bit of help, and I also get a redeem as well.
Also, you get some help. But you get help next time because you just rolled that, yeah?
Yep, you got it.
In that case, let's clash it again. You know the drill. Bird fight.
Bird fight.
Oh, thank God.
Is that including your +1 from
No,
chat?
that's not including the +1.
Okay.
Do I add the? Well, I rolled it without a modifier there.
Yeah. So roll me 1 more d6 here, and if it's a 4, 5, or 6, you will have successfully clashed.
1d6.
And you get a 4. So again, the Talo almost. I'm imagining it like this. It's almost like a DBZ fight where they're just sort of like pecking at each other, and they're doing that instant transmission things where like they're flying over there, then they're flying over here, and then they're over there the next. Exactly. And
I totally know what you mean.
when they pull apart once again, your Talo, your Renzi, is again the better looking opponent, but at this point, both Talo are at half HP.
Okay,
and I think
2
Alan.
HP.
Let me ask this before I do anything with Alan. Do you want to use a potion? Do you want to call it back?
Yes.
Do you want to keep it in?
I think I would like to not call it back. I would like to use a potion on Renzi.
Okay.
So let me use my potion thing. Use 1 of 2 uses, and this one is back to 4. Okay.
Nice.
There you go.
Awesome. All right. So as that goes back up to 4, that does mean that the Talo does get an attack of opportunity of sorts. And let's see how well it does. I mean, I'm not feeling this one. This one I'm not feeling, but I do have an extra 1, so we'll see what happens. How do you feel about a 3?
Oh, a 3. Okay. I am going to... All right, Renzi. This is still Peck?
Yeah, this would still be Peck.
This still be Peck. I believe you can clash this again. Let's go, Renzi.
Bird fight!
No! Bird fight!
Unfortunately, not enough of a bird fight, and I think this could work. We'll see what we got damage-wise, but... Okay, so what that's going to mean then is you're only going to take the 1 damage. Bringing you down to 3 HP, I believe.
Okay.
But
yes.
This time, when the 2 Talo pull apart, Renzi does look a little bit worse for wear from the other Talo.
All right, Renzi. I believe in you. I think we can take this down. Use peck.
Bird fight. Bird fight.
Bird fight. No modifiers. Go.
Oh, that's a good one. 4. I think for thematic sake, I think Alan's getting into the whole bird fight, so he calls out, "Yeah, we're gonna bird fight this."
Look at how many sixes that is. That's 3 sixes.
That
That's
is
crazy.
that is going to be. Oh my lord!
Wow.
So yeah, you
Bird
rolled enough.
fight.
You rolled enough 6s. They only got the 1 6. So I think what's gonna happen is Renzi is still gonna take 1 damage, so you'll be back down to half health. But when the birds come apart, they sort of square up and look like they're going to start, bird fighting again. But then the enemy Talo sort of freezes mid-motion, its eyes go spirally, and it drops to the ground fainted.
Oh, it was like one of those moments where like they have a scuffle and they both look like they're gonna stand up straight, but then the other one of them just like slowly falls to the ground.
Yep, you got it.
Yeah.
And I think it is one of those things where Alan, hey, confetti.
Confetti.
I think it's one of those things where Alan very reluctantly calls back his Talo and says, that was a good battle. Thank you for that. Yeah, here's your money. And just very reluctantly again hands you about 3, what did I write down for him? 315 for him.
315. So I have 1275. 1275. Okay. Yeah, you're wow, that was a really tough match. I definitely have my work cut out for me going into this last battle, huh?
Tiana will beat you. I believe in Tiana.
Tiana will beat me. Oh my god. I see. Well, I wouldn't expect any less from the last member of the Elite Four.
Alan doesn't say anything. He just kind of looks at you like, what?
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I thought that we were doing a thing, but okay, yeah.
Listen,
Thanks for the match.
Calvin. I know Calvin's excitable. I know Rick is a chuny. I'm just a kid. I'm just a kid.
Okay. Well, that's cool. I mean, I think I'm still a kid too. So, if you wanted to, let yourself be a kid, then you can definitely do so. I'm one who's always down to play along. So, but you know what? If you're not, that's cool too. I'm totally cool with treating you like a fellow adult.
And he kind of puffs out his chest at that, like, yeah, I'm an adult, kind of a thing.
Exactly. And so, just as we adults do, we will. I'm going to offer you a handshake and just say, "Great match, sir."
And he takes it. It's not as firm as Rick's was, but it's still a decent handshake.
I will go and fight this last match, but yeah, I think I'm gonna have my work cut out for me with Tiana.
Yeah. As you trudge up the hill to get to the northern side of the route, you are able to see past the trees and the tall grass to see Tiana very patiently waiting in the middle of some tall grass. By now, the sun has come out. There are birds chirping all around you. Kind of that post-rain smell, almost that smell of ozone, maybe. And Tiana has seen you at a distance and is just sort of standing there with her arms crossed and is just waiting for you patiently.
Okay, I'm going to first use the second tick of that potion on Renzi.
Okay.
Okay, let me make sure that that is used. So I have 3 potions left. 0 uses. Okay. And I wanted to check in on before I fight Tiana, I wanted to just kind of like send out all my Pokemon just out in this little clearing on top of this hill so we can do a little pep talk.
Okay.
So I'm Litten can come down from my shoulder, and I'll send out both Talo and if I send out like Celadon, does it
Mhm.
just like flop on the ground? Like, is there a way that I
Kinda,
can
yeah.
like? Uh, is there anything that I can do about that to make it not feel like it's just flopping on the ground?
Get a big bucket of water and put it into that.
Oh God, I guess not. Okay, I will not send out Phoebus. I will or Celadon. I will keep Celadon in the Pokeball. But I will kind of place the ball kind of on the grass next to the others so that we can all like have a little team meeting.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna crouch down in front of them and be like, all right, we're coming up on a really important match here, guys. Are y'all with me? And I'm gonna like kind of do that thing where I point their eyes and point at my eyes, and I just make sure they're all making eye contact with me, except for the Pokeball.
So I think what
Well,
happens
I'm also
is
gonna do it towards the Pokeball, but I'm not going to like confirm that it's also looking at me.
so I think let me actually check sizes here because if they're the right size, I think I can do this. So let's see. Celadon is what? 2 feet,
Celadon?
and Litten is yeah, this can happen. So what happens is, of course, Talo maybe motions the same way. It like puts a wing at its eyes and then motions at you. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
Renzi does. Litten kind of
Okay.
looks at you for a moment and then taps the Pokeball that has Celadon in it, and Celadon comes flopping out. But Litten sort of catches it with its front paws and sort of leaning
Oh,
back, just sort of holds out Celadon so that Celadon can participate.
oh, that's cute. It's holding it with like arms.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so I go, I kind of like step back a little, or not step back, but like I lean back a little bit, kind of surprised. And then I perk up and I'm like, I nod at Lytton and I do the same motion towards Celadon to like, all right, eye contact with me.
Yeah, and Celadon actually looks at you quite well, and you can't really nod being a fish and all, but you get a very sense of strong determination from Celadon.
Ah, yes. I said I would protect you, and I didn't want to send you out in a terrain that was that didn't have any water for you. So I wanna ask each of you uh, if any of you don't want to participate in the next battle. You'd let me know, but if you do, I would be super grateful. So let's start with Lytton. Lytton, do you want to go out? Like I'm basically doing a strategy meeting here.
Right.
Do you want to go? Do you want to fight against Tiana's Pokemon?
Yeah. That is a yes, yeah,
Yeah.
not a no, yeah.
Yay! Awesome. I don't want to like peer pressure it, but I'm gonna look at Renzi. Renzi, how do you feel? Are you gonna be fighting in this next battle?
Puffs out its chest very impressively and kind of caws back at you.
All right. And Celadon. Again, no pressure. Don't want. I know there's no water around here, but if the time comes, do you want to participate in this battle?
So it closes its mouth, and for the moment, you think that maybe it's going to say no. And then when it opens its mouth, it's not a very loud cry, but it's almost a little draconic in nature where it kind of roars a little bit at you. And you think that's a yes?
I'll take that as a maybe. And what I'll do is, can I like split the last treat? Like, how big are these treats? Um,
I would say you probably could split it between two,
Two.
but
Okay.
three is probably pushing it.
Three's pushing it. Okay. Um, in this case, I'm going to. They all like the other ones got one each. I'm going to take the treat out and be like, all right, the others got a treat, so I'm going to also give you one. And we'll. I'm also going to give you one. Even and don't feel like you need to participate, but when the time comes, I hope that you'll fight with us. And I'll hand it the like little fish treat.
All right, and I think what happens is it's almost like an anime trope where it takes the treat and then immediately it gets like those fire eyes where it's like super motivated and focused.
Yay! I swear to God, this fish is gone. And so I will kind of do that thing where I step back and nod and like expect all of them to kind of nod back. And then I'm going to recall the other two and make a fist and be like, all right, let's fight this last trainer in the gauntlet. And then I'm going to look over at Tiana, who is already looking at me, and walk over to her with like extra determination and pride in my step.
I love it. So once you come within talking distance of her, Tiana sort of unfolds her arm and says, well, I think you've done well to reach me in our little Elite Four gauntlet, as Rick has phoned ahead and told me. And good use of potions so far. I haven't gotten a report that you ran back to the Pokemon Center, so the gauntlet challenge is still valid. But unfortunately, this is where your challenge ends.
We'll see about that, Miss Tiana. And I will look at Lytton and look back at Tiana. Are you ready to light him up, Lytton?
And I think Tiana takes that moment to call up her own Pokemon, and that's where we'll switch over to the battle screen.
Yes.
So, what's going to happen here, and let me know if this is too far of a reach, but she's going to send out a Shroomish, and maybe about the time that you look it up in a Pokedex to see it's a grass type, and you're getting just ready to send out Lytton to handle this. I think what happens is, before Lytton can get there, almost like you remember how Psyduck would always come out of Misty's Pokeball and like introduce itself into fights? I think that same thing happens here with Celadon, where Celadon comes out and otherwise
because he's so determined.
So determined. Yeah, otherwise beat you to the punch. And I think that's where we'll start the battle. Unless you want to stop Celadon, of course.
No, but her HP is at 4. Okay, yeah, I guess it wasn't updating really quick there. Okay. This is a grass type, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me look something up here. Type chart, where are you? Here. Grass. Weaknesses, bug, fire, flying. Literally any other Pokemon would have been.
Literally any other one, yes.
I don't want to dampen its spirits, but I also don't want to have it get hurt. So I'm going to fulfill my promise of protecting it and say, Celadon, you're allergic to grass. We probably shouldn't have you start off, just in case I don't want you to get hurt, okay?
And it looks at you, and it stops flopping on the ground, and it looks at you with fire in its eyes, with determination.
So, okay, well, if you believe that you can do this, then I'm gonna believe in you too. All right? Okay, so we'll keep Celadon in.
All right, well, you know what it's time for. Time for that good old initiative.
All right, where are you, Celadon? Here you are. Okay. This is going to be interesting. Okay, initiative.
A 1.
Ooh.
A 1. You know what that means? 1d100 tiebreaker.
1d100.
And you beat it, so Celadon does get to go first.
All right, Celadon, let's start off with a bang here. Dragon Breath.
All right, go ahead and roll accuracy on this one.
And click.
Yeah, I don't even have to roll because Shroomish is not a clasher or an evader, so you will hit it head on.
Oh, just hit it. Okay. Good job. Nice hit. Hit with the damage. Defense?
Defense will be 3 on this one.
3. So it's probably gonna do like 1 damage. Okay. Wait, what does that say?
Did it roll?
I don't think it did the thing. It just says dragon breath damage.
Yeah, try it without the modifier. It might be one of those things where maybe it thought you were rolling 0 dice.
Oh, I see. I see.
That's what it was. Okay. So what's going to happen here is Celadon is going to charge up that dragon breath in its maw, and it surprises you and the Shroomish and Tiana because it doesn't fire initially at the Shroomish. Instead, what it does is it angles it at the ground, and almost like what's that Flash game, like No Time to Explain, it uses the force of the dragon breath to propel itself into the air, and then it rains down dragon breath fire at the Shroomish from the air. And Shroomish does take a point of damage from this, and Tiana's like, why does your Phoebios know dragon breath?
Is it not supposed to?
No, that is something you're supposed to breed for. How did you? My mind is full of fuck.
There's a paralysis chance on dragon breath. Can I roll that?
Yeah, you definitely can roll it.
Blip.
And I believe you actually do. So not only is the Shroomish hit by this dragon breath, the Shroomish is like even more frozen in place.
It's paralyzed by surprise.
Yeah, literally. And Tiana's gonna be like, come on, Shroomish, shake it off. And I do have to check one thing here, because I think...
Okay.
Status effects. So it loses 2 dexterity, and it can't move. Interesting. So let me actually check its dexterity.
Oh.
How much dex do you have? You have 0 dexterity right now. Nice.
That fish is gone. Renzi, you got a team, but this fish is gone. So 2 dexterity, and so it says 0 dexterity?
Yeah, it's at 0 dexterity, which, let me check the move real quick. All right, I think the only move it can use is the following. So Tiana shouts out, all right, you can't move, and you can't really... just use Solar Beam. And
Solar Beam?
The top of Shroomish's head begins to glow as it begins to absorb sunlight. And if you don't know, Solar Beam is a 2-turn attack, so you do get essentially 2 attacks here before it unleashes Solar Beam.
Okay. Now's your chance, Celadon. Let's tackle it. I could just it'll just hit, right? Because
at this point, because it's paralyzed, as long as you you hit it.
I just hit it. Okay. And roll for damage. Defense.
Defense is only a 2 on this one.
2. Okay, well, it does 1 damage at least.
Hey, 1 damage is important because you're slowly whittling this thing down. And that's its first attack, and it sort of can't move or do anything, but it kind of gives a grunt of pain as its Solar Beam continues to charge.
Okay, so let me ask something. So it's got a type advantage against Celadon in one way or in 2 ways? I actually don't know what type this Pokemon is.
It is a grass type. Just a pure grass type.
Okay, pure grass. Okay, so it's not like a grass and something else, like electricity or something like that.
Actually, I don't know if there is a grass and electric Pokemon. I don't think there is.
I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
Right.
All right. Well, you started this. We're gonna carry it to the end. Let's use Dragon Breath again. Go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. You only needed the 1, and just roll me straight damage on this one because it is paralyzed.
Straight damage. Oh, okay. Go.
And is that enough 6s? It is. So I think what happens is, again, Celadon uses that leap into the air maneuver with its Dragon Breath, and as it rains down fire, at the same time, the Solar Beam begins to eke out and fire out at Celadon, and there's that terrible moment where you feel that, oh no, Celadon's going to get hit by the Solar Beam. But with a dexterous display of firing a Dragon Breath to the side, it dodges out of the way of the beam and slams its head into the Shroomish, and there's just a big old crash and a big old puff of air. And you all have to shield your eyes as the dust and the rain and the mud flies past you.
Oh my god.
When everything clears,
Celadon is gone.
When everything clears, Shroomish is unconscious on the floor and Celadon is happily flopping on the ground.
Yes! Type advantage is my butt. 5,000 IQ.
So
Didn't take any damage yet either, right?
no damage at all.
Oh my god.
So
Perfect.
just to let you know, had you not done a paralyze there, let me show you how much
Uh-huh.
damage the solar beam would have done.
Oh my
Because the
gosh.
solar beam would have hit regardless. So it would have done, accounting for Celadon's defense, would have done a hefty 3 damage to Celadon, and that's including the type die there. So
The type it, but you had a 7 dice chance? Holy shit.
yeah.
That would have been really bye.
But Tiana recalls her Shroomish and sort of looks at the Pokeball and go, I guess you. I don't. What?
Meanwhile, while she's flabbergasted, I will run up to Celadon, pick her up, and kind of toss her in the air like a baby, and do a little spin and be like, "Yeah!"
And of course, it sort of replies back with like a donch sound, and it's just sort of flopping around very happily.
Yay! You did it, Celadon! I'm so proud of you, and I'm going to kind of offer the ball so that it can go inside. I think you deserve a good rest now.
And it takes the hint and hops in its ball.
Yeah. The one Pokemon defeated.
And at that point, Tiana just sort of sighs and sort of puts her Pokeball away and says, well, deal's a deal, as much as I feel like I sort of got cheated here. But hey, you know what? You're a good Pokemon trainer. I can see your skills, or dumb luck, or a combination of the two. It doesn't really matter. Here's your reward. And she pulls out 3 Premier Balls and hands them to you. So if you don't know what a Premier Ball is, or for anyone who doesn't know, a Premier Ball is basically an inverse Pokeball where it's white and red, and it doesn't really have a special effect. It's just a standard Pokeball. It just looks cooler.
It's just pretty.
So just note somewhere that you have 3 Premier Balls and that they're the special kind. That way, if you catch a Pokemon with it, maybe we'll give a bonus to their cool or their tough or something.
Oh, neat. Okay, cool. I will add here. It's Premier Ball 3. I also wanted to ask, you remember the escape rope that I used for the punching bag? Is that still salvageable? Is it still an escape rope?
Oh yeah, still an escape rope. Your tent bag is fine as well. But that's not your only reward. Tiana also hands you 1,000 for your winnings.
Oh, nice! Wow.
And also gives you something that you're not really sure what it is. Like, you can tell it's a berry, but you're not really knowledgeable on types of berries. So you kind of look at this thing and maybe look back at her questioningly. And
look back at her like, oh, what is this? I've never seen this before.
Well, let's just say that that is a... And she sighs, should be a prism berry, but it's a little bit weird. It's like something got mixed in, almost like a chesto. It's a hybrid berry. I'm not really sure what it does, but I figure a Pokemon trainer like you could figure out its natural abilities.
Awesome! Wow, this is crazy. This seems kind of rare. Are you sure you want to give this to me?
You won the gauntlet, so yeah.
Well, thank you, first of all. I appreciate it a ton. And I mean, did I already get a number? I already got a number. But I could use, some company while I head over to my first gym battle. I was wondering, I mean, I totally understand if you want to stick around with the Elite Four here, but because then there'll be the Elite Three without you. But if you wanted to come along, for a little bit. I'm
So-
just all by myself.
Let me put it to you this way. Do you want the super aggressive response? Do you want the regular aggressive response? Or do you want the dismissive response?
Regular aggressive.
Regular aggressive. So I think she kind of maybe, resettles herself, takes up a new stance and says, I am not going to let you out of my sight until I understand what the fuck that freaking Phoebios is.
And I stare at her confused. I'm not sure if that's an affirmative or a negative response.
Yes, I'll come with you.
Yay! And so I'm going to I'll just be kind of hopping around a little bit, be like, yes! Super excited. I'm sure Celadon will be happy to get to know you a lot better as well.
And I think our ending sort of scene is that as you start to walk away with Tiana in tow, Celadon comes out of her ball and just lands in Tiana's arms, and she's like, "Oh, what is this? Why? And that is where we'll end.
She likes you.
And that is where we'll end today's session.
I love that ending. That's so great.
Yeah, that was really good. But yeah,
that's so good.
What did you think? I know that that was more of a trainer battle thing, and it was kind of a dice roll of attrition there for a little bit, but what did you think?
I had so much fun. I mean, it felt like playing the game, but it also felt like watching the anime. For me, I really enjoyed that.